Hello, hello, hello. Hey, lips. It's your girl, Miss Mouthy, and this is the Miss Mouthy podcast. If it's your first time tuning in to the podcast, welcome. You have stumbled across a podcast that centers the narratives and experiences of trans and non binary folks and the allies that love and support us. And if you're a returning set of lips, what's up? Thank you again for coming back another week to pop your shit with your girl. And lips, I just feel so good. Like I feel so good. Well, today I especially feel tired coming from work, but we're gonna rock this thing out and we're gonna do what we gotta do because I'm looking forward to BTEC, which is the largest Black trans advocacy conference in the nation. I actually leave on Tuesday, and I'm super excited to be there for a whole week to experience the whole conference in its entirety from the pageant to the ball to the talent showcase to the family day. It's like so many things. It's like all of the things that I really love and enjoy in one place, and I get to network with other Black trans folks. So hopefully my special guest can join us, Elle, that's actually from the conference and give a little bit more insight. But until then, and if not, we're here and we're gonna pop our shit and we're gonna keep it moving. So in hindsight, I just wanted to let y'all know I thank y'all so much for all the love and support y'all have been giving me lately. I appreciate that. I don't know if it's more so me being more vulnerable or me just sharing more of myself, but honestly, I do appreciate it because when I do this and I be open and honest, you don't know if it receives, like if people receive it well or if it comes across the right folks, but I'm thankful for it. And if there's any questions, like I said, that y'all want me to answer or any topics y'all want me to talk about, feel free to hit the DM. Feel free to follow the page, put it on a comment of a video or whatever. Y'all know how to get in contact with me. And some lips, y'all know how I like to open the show up. Y'all know I like to actually give y'all some resources. So again, last week I talked about a studio that's opening up and it's still available. So Studio C is a Detroit studio that's opening up. If y'all don't know, then y'all should go because the space is amazing and it's ran by a great person and it's affordable. Who don't like affordable? So, all my creators, make sure you go check out Studio C. And I want to play a game. Of course, I like these questions. I don't know if I want to go nice. Wait, this nice or spicy? I think I feel a little spicy today, but because I'm kind of drained, I think I need to go nice. Or we'll do a little bit of both because I'm a Gemini. Okay. So the first one is no, I've read that last week. We're not doing that shit. Let me shuffle really good. We're not doing that. I'm not repeating the same questions over and over again. If y'all have not checked out the last episode, my sponsors, B Tech, no, BTF was in the building and they had wanted y'all to apply for a grant. So if y'all are in need of money and you have a 501c3 or you have a physical sponsor, please go check out Black Trans Fund and actually go and apply. It's their only grant cycle of this year, and you want to make sure that if you're doing amazing work for Black and brown people of trans experience and non-binary folk, that's your calling. You want to get supported for that work. We want to honor joy and liberation, so make sure y'all go apply to that. You have until June 15th, I believe, to go and apply. So make sure y'all do not wait till the last minute. Do it now. Give yourself some time and some grace to be able to fill it out, do all the things necessary, and come back. If my voice sound a little crazy, I'm sorry, y'all. It's the weather. One minute we in summer, the next minute we in winter. I don't know what's going on. So my first question is, what is one of the most impactful things you could do right now to change your reality or my situation? That is a really good question. I think I've been doing it all a lot, but I feel like I need to travel exactly what I'm about to do next week. Travel more, make more meaningful connections, really push Mouthy, get my name out there in its entirety, and just not be afraid to just jump and dive head first, you guys. Like, My reality is really good, and maybe change, maybe change my energy when it comes to like negativity. Like I feel like sometimes depending on the day that you give me, I need to just be neutral. I need to be neutral and numb and not give any energy to negativity. I've been working on it. I've been great this week. I don't when people name drop people who they know I don't affiliate with or who I don't care for, I don't give it anything. Like I just keep it pushing, do whatever I was doing. And for the ones that I know is definitely like speaking ill will of me, I just let them keep on doing it. Like it don't do nothing but bring more people to want to know who I am, what my podcast is about. And I feel like this, no matter what, let somebody experience you, right? So no matter what a person tell another person about me, I want you to experience me for who I am. And then that's the only thing. With that reality, I'm not giving it no energy. What do I really want to say, and how would that change things? The things that I feel like I really want to say, it wouldn't do nothing, right? Like it would just be me saying it that ultimately create more havoc. And I don't need that. Like my truth is just my truth and I know that and I don't think I need to share that. And the things that I normally want to say, I say. I'm very direct. Like anybody who knows me, I'm very direct. And that can be my double edged sword because some people claim to like real people or authentic truth until you tell them in a way that has to hold them accountable, then they don't like you. I also feel like saying what I need to say, no matter what you say, it's how you wrap it. And I like to wrap my stuff in love, right? Like I'm not gonna be just bold and blatant and just put somebody's shit out there or say some mean shit. I'm gonna tell you the real on what you need to hear and whether all the people around you or not have already told you this. The way you're gonna receive it from me, hopefully it comes from a really loving and genuine place. And you know I'm not trying to be mean or facetious. So that's that. Let me get a little spicy on this. Take take a shot if you willing to shit on a person for some money. Um, I would. That's easy money to me. I would do that for some money. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not taking no shot, y'all. I don't feel like drinking today. But yeah, I think that's easy money. I would shit on them. I just wouldn't want nobody shitting on me. Like that's just not a thing. And Carisha just really be out here talking about bodily fluids. No, I'm not gonna do that either. She is crazy. Okay, I've done this and I'm not gonna take a shot. It says take a shot if you ever stole your mom's car. I did steal my mom's car when I was like 16, 17. We had a van. I'll never forget it. We had like a teal van, Aerostar that was parked out in front of the house, and I had just got my driver's permit, and I was all happy to like get out there and drive. Lord behold, it made this sound. When you turn the key, it made the sound. And I was trying to figure out how to not make it make that sound, but you know, that's the engine, that's the motor. It's nothing, it had nothing to do with me. So I crank it up and I just gas it because I wanted my friends to see me drive it and knew I was cool and all the things. And I get there, and all these bitches like, oh, I gotta do homework or I'm on punishment. I gotta stay in. Shout outs to my friend Chicken at the time. And I was like, no, we supposed to be going able to get, if I'm gonna get this ass whooping, we have to go joyriding. We have to be seen and all of the things. But you know, eventually I was just like, it was me and my cousin Casey now. They go by Casey. So hey Casey, it was me and her. We stole my mama car to go joyriding to see our friends, and all of our friends was acting scary. And Lord behold, when I got back to the house, we was in trouble. My mom and my stepdad was coming out the house like I had already knew I was in trouble. You know you in trouble when you just kind of like throw the keys or get to running. So I just threw the keys and started running because I was like, they're not about to catch me and beat my ass. So no. What has been the greatest test thus far, and what did you learn from it? I think the greatest lesson has been, well, the greatest test has been not knowing if you really gonna overcome some shit, right? Like life give you tests and you don't know if you built for it tough. And the biggest lesson is that whatever test you come, no matter what the marking of the test is, right? So when you take a test, you get a grade. No matter what that grade come back as, whether you passed or failed, the fact is, who said you can't take the test again? Who say if you can't study from it, from what you learned when you failed it the first time, you can't get it right the second time? And so when life presents challenges or tests to me and I feel it or I feel difficult or it's something that I just can't do, I take a moment and I allow myself to understand, why is this a test for me? Why is this difficult? What is it that God wants me to learn and understand in this moment so that I can move forward in maybe my life or my lesson? And so what I've got from that is that it's never as difficult as you think it is. Maybe you're processing it wrong. Maybe you're in the wrong environment. Maybe you got the wrong people in your ear. And then once you realize how to just go through it, because sometimes for me personally, I try and like when I see the storm coming and I see the teacher passing out the tests and the papers to everybody in the class called life, I don't want mine. I'm not ready to take the test yet. But you realize once you do it and you put your pencils down, it's never as bad as you thought it was. And so no matter what's faced my way, I'm built for it tough. I'm gonna take it head on. It's gonna be whatever it's gonna be, and you make the best of it because it does not define you. And hopefully, if you find a lesson in every test that's coming your way, you often build character. You often build this strength and resilience, even though I hate that word. You build this sense of reassurance in yourself, right? Like now you don't have to doubt yourself about what your ability or your capability is into something, no matter what it is. What is working great in your life right now? Literally, my podcast, my sense of self, like my healing journey has been working great for me. And I know when people hear healing journey, they think of the crystals, they think of the meditation and all of those things. And yes, that's a part of it. That's a tool. But my biggest part of what's been going right in my healing journey is just the fact of me allowing myself to say, you know what? Today is hard. Today is difficult. These people hurt me. I had to take ownership in allowing these people to have access to me to hurt me, right? And understanding that it's going to be okay. That was a part of the growth. That was a part of the journey. If you did not have the pain to decipher where it went wrong and how you could correct it, then I couldn't heal from it. And like healing in this stage of my life has been so beautiful. And it's not beautiful in a way of like, oh, this is the great things that happen when you go through some shit. It's really beautiful because I've been allowing myself to reveal myself to me. I've been able to just sit in it and say, you know what? Shit is not perfect, but how do you want to grow from this? How do you want to become a better version of yourself? I don't want to hold on to my pain. I don't want to harvest hard feelings. I definitely want to be people. I want to you you always in their life. And then they do on themselves. They're a little vibrational and it has nothing to do with you. There will be some things in life that happen that hurt you, whether it's health wise, financial, any of those things. And you just have to learn how to grow from. Hi, Sheila. How are you? Welcome, everybody who is watching on Facebook. Currently, y'all tuning into this episode. And I was just talking about how life will give you tests and journeys that you can heal from. And that is the biggest thing that's going great right now is allowing myself things to heal and like mental health. Like I had to get my mind right, y'all. Like going through therapy had been so beneficial to me in this stage of my life, recognizing that like childhood trauma, the things that I've been through in relationships, not only just platonic, but romantic as well. Like, you have to allow yourself grace and room to be able to admit that there's some room for growth there. You can acknowledge that you're not perfect and you got it all figured out. Shit, it's some days I don't know myself and that's okay. But when I go through therapy, I find the balance or I find the tools or I see a different perspective. It says, I dare you to text your ex and say, babe, I miss you. I am going to do that because I feel like that's easy. I feel that's easy. And he texts me at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was just like, First of all, he gonna know this is like some shit because I would never call him bae. Like that is just not how we giving it up. Carisha gonna have me in trouble. How have you grown most in the last year? I've grown so much because I didn't even expect to grow, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't set out to be different. I didn't set out to do nothing, but I just knew I did not like my current reality. I knew the people that I were currently around and the things that I was doing and indulging in was not satisfying my soul. So I had to let that shit go. And it wasn't easy. It's those stages of change, pre contemplation and all of those things. I thought about it, it's no different than anybody else who wants to change something about themselves, whether it's the way they look, the habits they have. I just knew for me, the people I was choosing was not choosing me. Or if they was choosing me, they was choosing me for what they could get out of me. I also recognized that I was hurting myself being a people pleaser and trying to help everybody. And sometimes you cannot help everybody if your cup is empty. And I hate when people make that reference about the cup, but it's so it's so real. It is so real. Or you don't even recognize you're depleted because you go through this long span of your life just giving, 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 giving to be named nice. What is it to be nice? Are you only nice because you're doing so much for people around you? Are you only nice because you never say no? And so those were the things that I was battling with, and I had to come to some realization around. And how do I change that for myself? And so in that journey, I had to create boundaries. People don't like boundaries. They don't like when you got boundaries. When you one of those people who are giver and they're just a taker and you recognize that, hey, there's nothing else here for me to give you. So no, I cannot do that. I cannot do this for you. That's when it's a problem. And people also have a problem with pouring back into you. If somebody in your life see you struggling, whether mentally, physically, and they're not able to pour or offer some help into you, I'm not saying they're a horrible person by no means. No, because they understand it. They get it. They get how to prioritize themselves first. But that is somebody in that stage in your life, with you being so vulnerable, that you don't need. You don't need anybody around you who cannot pour back into you. So all of my relationships in this stage in my life look very reciprocal. It look very reciprocal. And the moment it does not, I have to let them go. Not because I'm selfish or feel like they should give more. I just think that it's your intentionality. If your intentionality is to love on the people around you and give an example of loving someone how you want to be loved, then what's the problem? If I'ma always be nice to you, I've never, for me, I've never thought of a time with me and my mom where I ever asked her something or I needed something and she didn't give me that relationship back. And right. And loving her and seeing her example of how she loves me made me want to love her that much more. No different than with my child. It's reciprocal. And I think in these relationships, we get so face value of what somebody else can do for me. Well, what can you do for yourself that you wouldn't even have to ask this person to do it for you? And then everything that this person do for you is a blessing. It's an add-on. You know what I mean? It's something that you can honor and say, you know what? I appreciate that that could have been difficult for you to do for me, and you did it anyway. Let me show you how much I appreciate that, and you reciprocate that. So boom. This just the instructions to the game. I don't know. Oh, yeah, girl, please. It said take a shot if you ever went shopping, but you had a disconnection notice. So early in my 20s, y'all, I was so financially immature because nobody told me about financial like security. Nobody told me the importance about money and like the examples that I saw of that, like wasn't the great. Like everybody in my family, when they got paid, they was ready to turn up, they was ready to drink, and it was just like hell. Some of them was older than me and would come and be like, "Can I borrow?" And I'm like, "Girl, I'm 16 and got my little job." Like, what do you mean borrow? Um, but then I didn't know about investments. I didn't know about investments. I think if somebody told me I was on the right track, I was on the right track, and then I had a family member mess up my bank account, and I felt like that had distorted everything. And then you have another family member who like put something in your name, like no. So yeah, it's been a couple times where me and my homeboys and homegirl then went out and we knew rent was due. We knew rent was due, but for some reason, I guess I don't want to say it was my face, but it kind of was. Like I was like, I got it. Like I don't know where this rent gonna come from, but we going out tonight. And honey, I'm telling you, it did always work out, but there were also some things that I had to sacrifice. Like shit, sometimes you gotta eat a pack of noodles because you ain't got nothing else in there because you wanted to go to the club. You wanted to buy that outfit. And I had to sit with that. Some of my decisions, like everything, when I look back at my 20s, not all of them was just like, oh, life is so hard. It was no, I was making some poor ass decisions. I should have been paying my rent versus like flossing or looking at that bag or da 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 da. But it was trendy for me. And we was under this impression of YOLO, right? You got one life, but nobody ever said you had to live your life irresponsible. Nobody said you couldn't put up money for your future. We just saying live in your fullness. Hi. And so, for me, I was just like, "Ugh." But now I do not live out of my means. I do not. Hey, Josiah, how are you? And I don't live out of my means by no means at this point. Like there'll be times you'll see me, my hair won't be done, I won't have no makeup on, my nails won't be done because I need to make sure all my bills is paid first, especially when we go into the first of every month. Like how we know we at the end of the week. Now I'm not clubbing. Y'all won't see me at nobody club. I might pop out and get a cocktail at a nice restaurant. That's like $50, $80, but I'm not fully about to get the whole look, the whole shebang, blow some no, rent is due. We cannot do that. And I got a trip coming up. I'm not doing that. Get somebody else to do it. Um, am I settling for less and how? No, 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 no. I'm not settling at all. Like I think in multiple points, like even in this year, I had to recognize that I'm willing to give up anything to stay true to myself. I worked at a job that I was making really good money, but it wasn't fulfilling me. I couldn't do this the way that I wanted to. So I wanted to step away from jobs, people, relationships, men, anything that I felt like was beneath my standard. And just because it's okay, y'all, to say something is beneath you. I don't know where we come into this thing where like saying something is beneath you makes you evil or mean. No, because you'll settle for anything. And I'm not willing to settle for anything. I don't want just, any kind of man. Like, I want a man of integrity. I want a man that is patient. I want a man that is honest, not only with me, but himself. Right? Like, we know those conversations we have internally with ourselves, whether it's self loading or self motivating, whatever it is, he got to be honest with himself before I ever come in the picture. But fast forward, I know too, settling has not done anything for me. It makes me feel frustrated and mad at myself. Like, oh, you should have followed your first mind, or you knew that wasn't even something you should have done, but you did it anyway. Nobody held a gun to your head and said you had to settle for that. Like, and a lot of that contributes to us not knowing our whole self, our whole worth. Now I know I'm worth a lot. I want it all. I think me and my coworker had an experience where we were talking about something that pertained to somebody who got a lawsuit. It was like millions of dollars. And then my coworker was like, "Oh yeah, because we'll never see that money in that lifetime." I said, "Who? Who? You speak for yourself. Don't speak for me. Because in this lifetime, I don't know. God has given me so much grace over opportunities and things and people that I never thought I would be a part of. I've been in spaces I never thought I would be. I touched money who that I never. Fun fact is, one day, one what made me quit my job is one year I told myself, I was like, the first time I ever get a $10,000 check, I am going to keep this, like the little check stub part. I was going to keep that just as a reminder is that this is going to be the new status quo. This is going to be something that you can often have to remind you that you've had it before. Don't limit yourself. Don't settle. And so from there, the amount's just been going up, going up, going up. But had I never believed that that was the amount of money that I could see in my bank account, and I get emotional every time I tell this story. Every time you got to think bigger than what your current reality is. I'm not the same girl I was when I was 20. So I shouldn't limit my money or my profit to a 20-year-old. My needs are different at 30. My desire to want to travel the world and like look a certain type of way is different. Because I'm black or because I'm trans, do I then minimize myself and not ask what I know I'm worth? We all should do that. Get into practice. It don't even, let's take the money out of it. Settling now. Do not settle for family members or friends or a partner who make you question your value. If you ever have to question your value with someone around you, you are too valuable for them to know your worth. And at that point, you should already be moving along. I don't have to second guess my worth when I come around the people that I think love me or the people that are for me. They add value to me. If they already know my worth and they like, well, sis, I don't feel like you've been yourself too often. Let me pour into you. That's adding value to you. And that's all I ever want to do, not only for myself, but to other people when I have the capacity to do it. You see that? That's what I've learned when I have the capacity to do it. But that is the blessing of knowing your worth. And it takes the time. I'm not going to sit here and cap like I just always knew my worth and I was always that girl. Nope. I kissed a lot of frogs to get to the point where, and I still don't even know if I want a prince. And that's just me not settling. I don't think a man equates my value or anything remotely to it because if he's not coming hard, if he's not bringing that pressure, I don't want it. Simply don't want it. Take a shot if you ever been pregnant and didn't know who the daddy was, or if you heard you had a baby on the way and didn't believe her. And dude, that ain't none of my narrative. Take a shot if you ever called the police on your girlfriend or boyfriend. No, 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 I've never done that. In the comments, you can also say if any of these questions you've done or what your experience has been. Talk to me. I talk back. I promise. How all pair how myself it can I guess I would just out upon and just me in my natural state. So I would say I have long, kinky hair. I would let them feel the texture of my hair. Um, I would definitely let them feel my lips because why would I be mouthy if they didn't get into it? Like the juicy, voluptuous lips, like hello. I'll let them see how big my cheeks are. Um, my eyebrows is very thick. I don't know. That's hard. Like that is just oh. Then the boobs, they would feel how curvy I am. They would feel Tiffany. So I had a thing. I don't know if y'all remember this from like the movie Bridesmaid, but it was a scene in there where the lady was like, Tina, don't talking to me, right? And so I always talk about Tina. And so I go around work like, yeah, once I lose Tina, and they like they think I was doing drugs. So for the longest, they say, can you stop saying Tina? Because everybody think you on drugs. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, what am I supposed to say? Because it's a scene in the movie. So now I done named her Tiffany. She is Tiffany. So I would let them understand that, like, this is a part of my body and I'm owning that, all of that. Like, I don't know, just let them feel me entirely. Like, you know, your whole body. Nah, I ain't do that. It say take a shot if you ever contacted someone from a free text app messenger because they blocked you. I did not, but my ex did. I blocked him like 4 different times. He kept coming up with different numbers like, oh, I must be blocked again. I just don't believe in that. Like, if somebody blocked me, then you just block me. Like, I'm not doing the most. But when I see you, when I see you in person, we gonna have to run it back. So, um, yeah. What's the best um and most ideal thing that could happen? Oh, I think if my stuff got picked up by a network, that would be great. If I don't know, like I just think if Mouthy would, oh yes, I do. The most ideal thing can happen. I could own my own network. I could sit here and get a lot of money and donations from big corporations to be able to funnel to my community. I want to give Black trans folks a lot of opportunity. I want to give Black entrepreneurs a lot of opportunity. I want to give Black creators a lot of opportunity. I'm going to, but I also believe that there are strength in numbers, and being able to work from across will be the best thing for me. So I don't wait until people give me opportunity. I kind of go create it for myself, or I go do it and people see the vision and they get behind it. So ideally, no matter whether somebody backs me or not, I'm going to get Mouthy to where it should be, but also all the people I want to help in the process of my elevation. Because it's simply not just about me. This is what I do, but it's for so many other people as well. What are the three biggest mistakes? Um, and what did I learn from them? So, do I believe in mistakes? No. But I do believe that had given a chance to do something different, maybe I would have done it or maybe not. I don't know. I'm one of those people you got to put me in a situation. But the three things that come to mind, I don't really want to change them because they would alter my reality. I'm one of those people who believe every choice in life ultimately changes your reality. And so my mistake would have to be one, trusting in the wrong people. That has been the biggest one. No people in specific, but I think I've just been naive for a long time in my life that I lead with the intention that everybody is good, everybody share my same heart, and that's not always the case. So that would be one. I think having sex before I was ready. I don't think I was ready to have sex, and I wasn't emotionally mature in the way that I would have liked to be before that. So the act of sex don't always necessarily aligns with the emotion from it. So even though doing it in that moment made me feel pleasure, I wasn't prepared for the pain side or the emotional turmoil that came along when the relationship aspect does not work in your favor because you don't know. You don't know. You don't nobody tells you what a heartbreak feel like. They warn you about it, but when you actually go through it, it's something so crazy. And then it makes you question the value of your body because it's like, how could you pass? It's like, how did you pass on all this if I gave you my prized possession? And lastly, I would say to not be afraid of a mistake now. Like I think I lived a majority of my life trying not to make mistakes. And ideally, you see it all the time when people are trying to live the perfect life or what they see for themselves and not want to. I don't do that shit no more. Like I literally, if it's a mistake, if I fucked it up, I can own it. I can apologize. I can honor that I don't know everything. And sometimes if y'all notice me in spaces, I sit back quietly and I observe way more because I learn more effectively that way than I ever do just trying to assume or walk into a space feeling like I know everything. So those are the three mistakes, and I've learned a lot from owning my mistakes. Like it makes me feel more. more stronger about the decisions that I made. Like I can look back at a mistake I made and recognize why I looked at it in that moment that way. And then as I've grown from that mistake, understanding how I can do it differently in the future. Let's get a little spicy. Take a shot if you've never gave or had oral sex. Nah. You gotta. I think just like I'm a contradiction. In that card, I am a contradiction because I am a person who does not like putting my mouth just on anybody. I don't go around here doing that for two reasons. I feel like men are so invested in ingrained and wanting fellatio from every woman they come across. But also, two, I don't like that I see in sexual exchanges, men are not as prominent to do the same thing that they ask women to do. So it's like if you gonna ask a woman to jump from the chandelier and all of that, then you should be deep diving off the balcony right into it. So I don't do that. And I feel like it's required. I think that's a part of foreplay, and foreplay in this generation kind of had went out the window. And I'm not saying for me personally, I just don't do everything with everybody because whoever my life partner is, whoever I'm going to eventually end up with, I want to be able to give them some things. I want to give them some trinkets. So, depending on who you are, you get a certain type of sheet off my bed. If I don't really like you like that, you getting the woolly, hot ones that's gonna get you out my bed and make you not want to spend the night. If I really like you, you getting the satin laid out. It's real nice. It's real chic. Um, but I do not. I don't feel like you shouldn't ask for head if you don't give head. So if I'm ever in a situation and a guy like, hey, you gonna do X, Y, Z in the third, I'm like, nope, that's not my stilo. I don't expect him to go down on me. So, you know, and if he go down on me without me having to say nothing, now that might make me a little bit more inquisitive to actually return the favor. You see that reciprocal energy. What do others do that annoys me the most, and what does that reveal about me? So, I think I talked about this on three different episodes, but it's consistent. One thing about me, I'm a consistent person through and through. What annoys me about other people is the moment that their characters show you who they really are and how they really feel with you in a moment of disagreement, or y'all no longer are in that great place that y'all used to be, romantically or platonic. You do not have to yield the fact of going to get other people to dislike that current person just on the soul of that. And you don't have to harbor whole feelings. The same people that I dislike, I wish them nothing. And I say that wholeheartedly. Like, I don't have nothing against them. I can be in the space with them. I don't care. But the moment that I feel summon, right? Like if you tag me in something, if you direct something my way, I'm gonna address it. I've never been the type of girl who's never said what I needed to say. So in most moments, people can't take me because when they know the relationship is coming to an end, when they know I'm not fucking with them no more, I tell them right out the gate, hey, let's run this conversation so you can know exactly how I feel and why I'm not fucking with you. And then I'm gonna go my way and you gonna go yours. Not everybody is used to that level of emotional maturity and just setting the thing. So you don't have to come back this way looking for closure, right? And if I ever get to that point that I have to cut off ties with you, know that I've exhausted every way possible of trying to keep us where we were at. But that's something that annoys me with people. It's like y'all literally go out of y'all way to be malicious and mad and low vibrational when y'all could use all of that energy to work on yourself. I've been that girl. I've been that girl who exhausted a lot of energy not liking somebody. And what that shows me was either I was jealous, I was insecure, or I was envious. And that's just flat. When I really could have had a conversation with a bitch, asked her, how did she get like that? What do I need to do? And how can we work together? But people will never say that. And then the craziest thing is in most moments when people don't like you, it's something that they will never want to admit out in the open to you. So what do they do? They go around and they create this ideal or this image of you to other people because they know you don't care to check that, or like I don't need nobody to like I don't have to reiterate my truth to people. I don't care. You whatever somebody tell you about me, I want you to believe it. I want you to believe it because 9 times out of 10, if you sat there and you just listen to something somebody had to say about me, I'm okay with whatever you think. But you have to be okay with how I treat you in that truth. You have to be okay with me saying, "You know what? If you do believe it, I'm not fucking with you either." I'm quick to like cut somebody off. So what is stopping me really? Nothing. Nothing. I say the only thing that's stopping me, it will always and forever be me. If I don't believe that I can touch $1 million this lifetime, that's my fault. If I let a man take me off my square and get distracted and all I want to do is lay up and fuck, that's my fault. If I don't come into the studio and record twice a week, that's my fault. I have nobody else to blame in this lifetime why I didn't get to where I am. Now people I have chosen in the past to to use that as a crutch, but the reality is how many times you get tired of hearing yourself say that? How many times you get tired of using somebody else as the scapegoat? I don't need to do that. Simply either I take the space to know like you need a break, girl, you tired, you feeling overwhelmed. And then I have these moments where creatively I'm like, I'm about to give them hell. I'm about to fuck it up. This next season of my life is however I want it to look. The elevation keep you moving. That's what people don't understand. Once you get stagnant and you get stuck, then you just start looking at things that you can point and make reasons for why you're not elevating and moving the way you need to. It's not me. It's not it's not them. It's you. So do whatever you need to do to get back focused, get back centered, so you can push to the next level. Period. Take a shot if you want to cuss a coworker out. I cuss them out. Oh yeah. I guess that'll be a coworker I cuss out. So I would take a shot. Boop. Um, but I've even learned how to like handle professional things differently, right? Like I won't speak too much on it, but we've all had a job where you don't get along with your coworkers. Before, I think I would go back and forth, have an exchange. Da, da, da. They don't pay me enough for that shit. They don't pay me enough to go back and forth with a coworker and I'm clocking in and we here for 8 hours. They don't pay me enough to stay in an environment where I feel it's unhealthy and it's weighing on my mental health. You have a choice. You always have a choice in everything that you do in life. You chose that job. You chose to take that opportunity when they offered it to you. And you also get to choose how you entertain that relationship. Just because you're my coworker, we don't got to be friends. We ain't got to be enemies either. How you want to run it? So a lot of times now in professional setting, I choose: is it worth the amount of stress and energy that I got to give in a day to tolerate? Because at work I be tolerating people. So if it's not, I simply be like, you know what, this is my 2 weeks. I thank y'all for the opportunity, da da da, and I wish them well, and I move on about my way. Now I go create my own lane because, of course, we all got bills, and we have to pay those bills. So, one, I never leave a job until I have something else lined up. But two, when they want to know, oh, why did you leave? You already know. Y'all always keep the problem. And a lot of employers always keep the problem because it's easier to get rid of one person than to get rid of five. And to get rid of eight, department, so I don't stay at a job too long. That's why I encourage everybody to be an entrepreneur, be your own boss, set your own life and your own example, and pay yourself what you're worth. Okay. Who do I want to help? Ah, um, I would like to help people who want to help themselves. I'll start there. I've given a lot of help to people who would say they want it and the work that's required to do it to get where you need to be in your life, they were not willing to yield that. Or they would let their trauma precede them in moments of what they thought they wanted, right? You can't always show up in a space and cuss everybody out because you're having a bad day. You can't always think that there's always a moment to turn up, or you go out here and you break the law. Your sponsor's going to look at that. They're going to see that, like, oh, maybe this is not a good investment. Maybe this is somebody who don't represent our brand great. And that's okay. That is okay. But you can't keep saying you want to change and you want a better life and you want this platform, but you miss an appointment, you create havoc, you become a liability to the company. Those things are real. And then what you internalize is everybody has it out for you. Everybody does not have it out for you, but a lot of people are not willing to take losses just because it's you. You have to show your value is worth taking that risk. If it's not, then the math ain't mathing. So with that being said, that's who I want to help. I want to help people who want to help themselves, people who are actually hungry, people who have great hearts and who don't switch up in the moment of opportunity. I'm not an opportunist person. I don't like when people befriend you and then run off with the plug, or they just always in it for themselves. And then again, that reciprocal relationship. If you're not doing that, then I don't want to do that because it's a seed. If I sow a seed in you and I say, hey, I'm going to pay for XYZ in the third so you can get to where you want to be. When you get to where you want to be, I expect you to bring somebody else up by the bootstraps, and you supposed to help that. You supposed to plant a seed and move this person forward as well. But a lot of people not like that, and I just learned to come to accept I don't have to help everybody. I can only help people when I can, how I want to help them, and to recognize that if you ever helped a person before and they either ask you for a gazillion other favors, they're not looking for help. They are looking for you to be their enabler and their crutch. And I can't simply do that in my life at this stage in the game. I don't want to do that, because the moment what I've realized is when you help somebody tremendously, you then become the target when when you set that boundary and you no longer help them, then you become an issue. And so, I'm okay with that and I'll be fine with that. Let's get a little spicy. Take a shot if you ever slept with no. No. She is out of she is out of pocket. But on that note, thank y'all for letting me talk. Hi, L. L. Can you bring L in? Hey, L. How are you?
I'm good. Hi.
I'm good. Well, girl, I'm leaving soon, but tell the people who you are, what you do. Are we in different time zones?
I thought you was in you in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
We in the same time zone.
Okay, you cute.
I thought you said 5. I
No,
mean,
that's it.
I thought you said 6. Yeah.
Okay, tell the people who you are, what you do. Okay, period.
My name is El Halo. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm an activist and an advocate. And yeah, I model, I sing, I write,
Yes, you
as
better be
well. So, yeah.
you better be okay, one with all the talent. Okay, so I was telling the people before you had came on about B Tech. And so I know this is my first year going. I'm super excited. And one thing about this episode that I really wanted to talk about, I wanted to entitle it Sisterhood United, because when I met you, I know I personally haven't met you physically, but I feel like all the times we had conversations, there is a sisterhood that is forming. And by this being my first conference, I'm going to feel very comfortable when I see you there. And I'm going to be excited to meet you and experience your energy and all of the great things. So could you elaborate for the people who may not ever heard of BTech, what it is and what y'all offering this year?
I would love to. BTEC is the Black Trans Advocacy Coalition. It's based in Texas. They host the Black Trans Advocacy Conference every year. It's the 10th anniversary of the conference. It's our return from COVID as well. And it's a wonderful, beautiful educational and family space. I will even say that it's a healing space and affirming space. Um, I like to describe it as a big family reunion.
Yes.
Even if you don't know nobody, you know what I'm saying. I didn't know nobody when I went, but you know, it was still like going. It's like going to a family reunion where you ain't know nobody.
Period.
But you know, so we have workshops during the daytime, Wednesday through Friday. All different kinds of workshops. There are different workshop tracks, including advocacy and empowerment. Um, there's a community summit that is like a regional community conversation for between everyone that comes. We have our keynote luncheon where there are wonderful keynote speakers like Nick Renee, my brother Sebastian Smith this year, and my
Period.
sister Jade Lenore this year are the speakers. We have the Black Trans Advocacy Pageant where they are crowning um, Miss Black Trans, Miss Black Trans, and Mr. Black Trans, and this year newly they're gonna have mixed Black Trans as well.
I love it.
Um, there's Trans Manifest, which is our talent showcase of all trans and non-binary talent. That I'll be hosting that with our brother Twan. I'm very excited to host that. There's the Advocacy Gala and Awards where you have people nationally who have been nominated and will receive awards that evening. And it's a really, really beautiful celebratory moment and, you know, something that we get to share across our region. Like it doesn't matter. It just matters that you made the list. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
And so congratulations to everyone that has made the list for this year.
I love it.
Um, there's Family Day where we go like to this private ranch and just have like a real family reunion, outdoorsy kind of day,
Okay.
um, picnicky kind of day. So we have your spades and your dominoes and your booty shorts
I
and
was about
all
to
of
say,
those
stop
things
talking about booty shorts.
and all of the things
Okay.
that we love in one place. And then there's the ball, but we also are having the Wiz theme diamond ball this year as
Nice.
well, which is really wonderful for those that like to participate in ballroom. So yeah, um, days full of fun and education and connection and relationship building, and in the evenings, full of great events and space for people to show their talents, for people to connect and celebrate the culture, and maybe even sometimes see the culture for the first time
Yeah.
and see that there are people like us and everything. Raquel, am I late? I'm so confused.
You are Pooh, but you know
You
that
said six. It's six right now.
no, it's 7. Where I'm at, it's 7:02.
How is it seven? Are you in Michigan?
I swear to God, I'm in Michigan.
It says 6:02,
I
babe.
swear.
Yeah,
So this how we gonna run this because I can always have you on at another
yeah,
time. I swear to God, this sister
yeah.
is gonna go beyond.
Um,
Um,
how are we at? I thought Michigan is on Central.
no, we're Eastern.
I did not know that. I thought y'all would be on Central.
Okay, period. That's all I'm gonna say. So
That's
are you?
that. So yeah, it was the time
So let's
difference.
run
Yeah,
this game real quick.
yeah.
Are you sweet or spicy?
Spicy, bro.
All right, all right. Ever messed with someone who's married?
Girl, bro, I have. I mean, if you're giving it up like this, I have.
I have too. I have too. It's no
I
shame
mean,
in my
I
game.
mean, I mean, I have.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I say. I'm
Okay.
not currently single. I'm in a relationship, but you know what I say about married men, about married people,
Hmm.
is all the single people be like, I'm in a relationship, and all the married people be out here running the streets like they're
That's
single.
true. That's true. And sometimes
Like,
I know I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
get
oh
some
my
backlash.
God.
I know I'm gonna get some backlash, but I'm gonna stand 10 toes in it.
Just because now
Baby,
you
until
might
you
have
let
some
me.
standards just because you comfortable being a homewrecker or doing, you know what I mean? Just because you comfortable with certain things don't mean that you comfortable with adultery, okay? Like, don't
Yeah,
mean that you endorsing,
cheating or
okay?
like breaking up that marriage. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
like, come on now.
situations.
Like, don't put me all in
Yeah,
that.
no. What I'm saying is sometimes situations happen, and especially because our existence is a little different. I don't. I feel like
Okay.
we don't necessarily navigate the world or get access to knowing everything about the men we,
Absolutely.
never with. So when you do find out all of these things,
Absolutely. You could go ask Pookie
yeah.
and
So
then cousin
and when you
about
find out all
Pookie.
these things, you like,
About
oh
Pookie, but we can't go asking it about
yeah.
where the trade coming from. Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. So just because you spicy, I'm also gonna give you something nice to just cleanse that palate. Okay. Uh, what is possibly the most tempting, but what is a possibility that is the most tempting but most scared for you to try at this moment in your life?
um,
I'm loving this makeup. Come on. You giving me a look.
thank you.
Period. I love it.
Girl, I was just sitting here eating hot flamings, girl. I would have hopped on like at least 10 minutes ago.
It's okay.
But something I'm scared about the conference, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Not scared because I'm definitely like excited about it and looking forward to it.
But a little anxious,
Um,
right?
but yeah, definitely anxious. Definitely like I want to, not let anyone down, and
Yeah.
I want
Absolutely
everyone
right.
to feel. I want everyone to leave feeling a sense of family and inclusion and camaraderie and all that I have felt in the space before, and I hope that myself and the other new
Can
staff are able
move for
to
that. Yeah.
help people feel that. Um, I want to do more stuff like with music and singing. I want to do more stuff as a
Are you
creator.
gonna do the talent show?
Um, I'm thinking about like singing like
Okay.
throughout it if they let me. We'll see. I gotta see
Okay.
once I get
Doo-doo.
on it. But
I'm excited.
I wanted to like do like a production and everything, but because I've been traveling and other like just because it's been busy, I haven't really been able to get it like how I would like to. But I did perform in the talent show before, which kind of led to me ending up hosting it once I came on staff. So actually, I did host 2 times. We did it online, and I did
Mhm.
host those, and I did sing for both of those. So
Okay.
I'm just nervous to see everything pop off and be
Yeah.
successful.
It's gonna be
Um,
great. It's gonna be
yeah,
what it's gonna be, and I'm be in the crowd rooting for you, whatever you decide to do.
thank you.
Okay. So
I love you, girl. Thank you.
of course I love you too. So because we gonna have to have you back where we can get the full down. I was ready. I was ready. One,
I
we gonna
did
do it
not
at
know
B-Tech.
that.
Oh, you're fine. Um, but what I would like you to do is if you want to be part of the audience, I want the audience to reach out to you now. And if not, then I'll move on.
It's breaking up just a little bit. I think you said, where do I want the audience to reach out to me?
Yeah, like if you want people to follow you on social media or follow the
Yeah.
conference, yes, share them details.
You can always find the conference at our website, blacktrans.org. If you are in Texas, if you are in Dallas area, the 25th to the 30th, please come out and join us. My social media, you can find me pretty much everywhere at El Halo. Um, yeah,
Okay,
and then
period.
you can also find the women's track of the organization of the coalition Black Trans Women Inc. on social media too. So, Black Trans Advocacy Coalition, Black Trans Women Inc. My social media is El Halo, and then you can go to the BTAC website, blacktrans.org, for the conference.
Yes, Lips. So we're gonna have Elle on again another time where we make sure we know what is what. But
Oh
thank you.
my God. I
I,
didn't know that. I feel like that's crazy. I feel like that is crazy. We so close.
yes. Um. But thank you
But
for
Indiana's on Eastern too.
okay.
Indiana's not on Central either.
Thank
Oh,
you
I
so
got
much for doing this, and we're gonna do it again so we can pop our shit.
Thank you.
But it's your girl Miss Mouthy. Even when you what don't see me, you hear me. Till next time. Bye.